Hi all, I'm Indu, Speech Language Pathologist from Enliven Therapy Center, Bangalore. Today I'm going to talk about the mealtime struggles in kids. Yes, mealtime struggles are real and most of the parents these days face this problem. First thing is you have to find out the cause why your child is not eating. It could be due to some underlying medical conditions like the child is not feeling well, the child has sore throat, or the child has stomach upset or constipation which the child is not able to express. Or it could be that the child is not hungry. It also could be due to some kind of sensory issues. For example, the child doesn't like the texture of the food or the taste or the smell of the food. So the first thing is you have to find out the cause. Next, make sure that your child is hungry before you offer the food to the child. Do not overfeed the kid. So make sure that you give enough interval, enough break between meal times. Do not offer any drinks or any snacks in between the meal times. Then obviously the child will not feel hungry when you want to give the food to the child. Most of the time, the parents do not give the food in child's hand. They do not provide the opportunity for the child to eat the food on his or her own. So they don't get that feeling or the texture. They do not feel the texture of the food or the smell of the food. So when they are babies, make sure that when it is time to start with solid foods or when they have to start exploring the finger food, make sure that you give the food in child's hand and let them explore under your supervision. So it is not only that child has to swallow the food, the child has to see the food, touch and feel the texture, the child has to smell the food and then take it in the mouth and chew the food well and then swallow it. So the child has to follow all these procedures so that the child enjoys each and every meal. Introduce variety of food to the child. Don't just stick on to few things and don't repeat it again and again. The child might just get used to it and the child becomes a picky eater. So make sure that you give different varieties of food. Initially, the child might refuse the food and it is very common. So do not expect the child to eat the new food on the first attempt itself. So introduce it several times so that the child sees the food, feels the textures and then explores and then takes it in the mouth. Then do not forget to be a good role model. If you want your child to eat variety of food, make sure that you enjoy the food in front of the kids. So have that family meal time so that you all eat together. It's not that you have to feed the child first or the child has to eat first and then as a family that you eat. No. So you all have to sit together and eat so that the child understands that positive relationship with the food. And the most important thing is do not force feed the kid. The moment the child realizes that you're forcing the child to eat, they might develop the food aversion. They might not have that positive connection towards the food. The child has the hunger cues within. So they will let you know whether they are hungry or they are full. So do not go according to the quantity but go according to the child's cues. I often see that parents offer a distraction, for example gadgets, while giving the food to the child. So initially maybe you would have started with a good intention for the child to finish the food, but later the child gets addicted to the phone. So whenever you have to give a meal, the first thing is the child would search for the gadget. So do not make that connection. It becomes very difficult for the child to get rid of the gadget during mealtime if you keep continuing to do this. Later what happens, the child gets addicted to the phone even after the mealtime. So the number of hours the child watches the gadget keeps continuing and this might lead to communication difficulties later in life. So during mealtime, make sure there is no distraction, there is no phone or TV or any other gadget around. It should be only about food and you talk only about food. No, not even toys that you can give during mealtime. Seek a professional help if you still feel your child has mealtime struggles. Thank you.